Over 2 years ago, my wife and I purchased a home in Merida, Mexico, and that home is the exact one that I am sitting in here today, and we are ridiculously excited. Now, along the way, I have created several videos talking about the wonderful state of Yucatan, the city of Merida, the beautiful beach cities around it, but the main focus has been on this house that has gone through a long and amazing construction process that has given us what feels like the most perfect home away from home you could possibly imagine. Now, I sit here in the master bedroom and am just ridiculously excited about everything that we have accomplished here. We have had a great builder, realtor, all of those things, and I will talk about that in the series of videos that we have. But today is the day that I am creating a video for the people that have stuck around through this entire journey. So again, my name is Alexander Howell. My wife and I purchased a home in Merida, Mexico, the safest city in Mexico and the second safest city in North America, about 2 years ago. And it has gone through process after process after process of construction. But now we have completed it. And there is so much space in this place that I've had to condense this down into 3 videos, which I think are just long enough to hold your attention. And I'll be able to get them to you, and just short enough to where it's going to keep you wanting to see exactly what the entirety of this property looks like. So I hope you enjoy. If you do want to find out any more information about this channel, please feel free to subscribe to it, hit the like button, and I have all of my social media links down below. But because this video is a bit long, it talks about a lot of different things. This isn't just a, hey, here are 10 tips to do something. This is, if you're looking to build a home in Merida, Mexico, this is the series to watch. Welcome to it, and let's roll the intro. So here we are, guys. Again, just another morning. My voice continues to deal with a bad laryngitis, but this is the outside of the property. Now you'll notice that I didn't take a full picture. You can probably see that on my Instagram, Alexander from KC, and all that information's down below. But you will notice that this is the front door. First things first, I'm going to zoom in on it just in a little bit, but there is a doorbell that goes to the kitchen area and then back to the master bedroom, and it goes for about 15 to 20 beeps, so it lets you know that it's there. On top of that, you'll notice that we were able to save the original wood doors, which is really cool. We were very excited about that. And on top of that, we added to this door and something that's just out of frame, which is our window, which is actually a window that I have right here. I'm sitting in our theater room right now, but the setup that we have is the original wood that was there. This door has a metal grate, and then in between it, you can see that we put a black aluminum door, basically for 2 reasons. One, if we ever want to open the wood doors up, we still have kind of a layer of, I don't want to call it security, but just a layer of something so we don't get all the noise. It cut down the noise like crazy, but it also helps with like people when it's wet outside, it just doesn't get onto that old wood that was originally part of the house. So I think it's a nice protective layer, and the doorbell obviously helps. You'll also notice right below the door there is a circular light, and that creates uplighting at night. Again, Henry Ponce, one of the things that he is excellent at is not just taking a house and making it beautiful, but kind of adding the extra lighting so that especially at night it shows off a lot of your features. So let's start this video. What do you say? Oh, we got somebody out there. So here we go into the house. You can see my reflection. Again, there's the doorbell, and here we go. We're in the entryway. This used to be completely flat. Now, because we've raised the step in the very front of the house, what you see now is that this particular first level is raised. And again, that's just in case there's any flooding on the road or something like that. We kept the pasta tile, or we didn't keep the pasta tile. We added new pasta tile, did floors that run throughout the house, got these beautiful custom-made pieces of furniture, custom-made artwork. And this is the media room. This is the room that I'm sitting at right now. I'm actually right in front of the television as we speak. So you can see that we kept some of the original doors, some of the windows to go to the outside. These are all custom pieces, not the TV, of course. And then these beautiful walls that go up to the ceiling. They're just kind of nice accent walls. It's a new couch. Everything's new for the most part outside of doors. And then you see the mini split air conditioning unit, which are lifesavers, especially when you're thinking about saving energy in the house. So again, one last view of the media room. Then this table was actually supposed to be in the very front of the entryway that we just saw, but it's pretty tight there. So with the 2 chairs and everything, it actually fit even better in that spot. And obviously the nice piece of artwork. And then into the washer dryer room. And so we basically built this room, and you can kind of see the white box that's about halfway up the wall by that laundry basket. That is our solar which is not currently hooked up. So if you're from the CFE and you're watching this video, contact me because I really need the solar panels hooked up because this house is large and does use a lot of electricity. We have it ready. They just need to get the final approval to get it done. But this is the washer dryer room. You can see that, very obvious. All kinds of storage around the very top there. It's not a light that's really built for light. It's actually to allow heat to escape through that window. So that window is actually about half open, but you can just tell that the heat escapes through that. We built a ton of storage into this. And actually the reason that we have so much storage and it's such a big room isn't just because it needs washer dryer and kind of the utility function, but we also wanted to make sure that anybody who stays here that wants to park a bike in here or a couple of bikes in here, they have plenty of room. This is one room that will be open all the time. So if people come down here and they need to do their laundry, they can also store their bikes in here. There's a ton of area for them, but it's huge. I mean, the funny thing is, even in these videos where I've got the camera set to show it off, it really doesn't give any credit to the height, to the size of these rooms. You can really only tell when you walk through it yourself. One thing before we leave this room, if you'll notice below the chair, you can see what looks like a piece of trim on the bottom. And actually that is not trim. That is the original wall that was actually behind 8 feet of tile. Now, the reason that we have it set up like that is because these older rooms, the rooms in the front of the house, so the theater room, the bedrooms, the laundry room, these entryway rooms, they were the original part of the house. And what happens is, if you'll notice on a lot of Merida houses, you'll have about 6 feet up a thin line of different colored paint. And the reason is that original stuff really soaks in the moisture and brings it up through the wall. What this cutout does that looks like a piece of trim and actually turned out phenomenal, but what it does is it hits that with air the moment it gets up. Now, eventually there will be some humidity, some water that gets up through the wall, but at the same time, this is going to cut down on that in a significant way. So that's the reason there. It is function, not form, but it ended up, of course, fitting perfectly into the design. And before we go through these windows, so this door was rotted out. And so we basically replaced it with the exact same style that it had. The only difference that you'll notice on the original video is that halfway down, it had windows on everything except for the big window at the bottom on the 2 sides. Those were closed off. So we just opened it off so it's complete glass throughout, and you can actually see all the way to the back of the house, which is where the master bedroom is. So continuing on, we have this beautiful water feature that I fought for. This was very important to me. When we saw a house south of Plaza Grande, we did a tour through Airbnb, and this guy had this beautiful courtyard, not similar to this. His was a little bit wider, not quite as long, but it had this amazing water feature and ivy going everywhere and green foliage. And this is obviously a brand new garden, so it'll get a lot bigger, a lot greener in time. But it had an amazing water feature which just kind of welcomed you into the house. And it was something I fell in love with. And as we were kind of cutting things out and adding things to the budget, we cut this out initially. But then when we got here, I saw just how important that was, and I put it back into it. So I'm very happy that we have it. It creates just a nice ambiance as you walk through the courtyard. So moving on. You can see at the very top here, actually let's look first to the very far left. You'll notice that there's one wall that looks a little dirtier than the other walls. And the reason for that is actually original to the house. We didn't touch that wall. I think they might have like scrubbed it clean, but for the most part, that is exactly the same as when we first walked into the house. I could point to that wall in our original video and it would look the exact same outside of, again, maybe a little scrubbing, but that's about it. We didn't paint it, didn't coat it, didn't do anything. And Henry was the one that came up with that, and he basically said it's nice to have something that shows the original house. So you can always point to that and say that's what it was. Here's where it is. And there's beauty in looking back at that. So I thought that was amazing. You'll also notice as we kind of go through this that we created this kind of black gate to match the wood gate that we just went through that we're actually standing in right now. And then on the very top, we had a few different designs, but I wanted it to match the one below. So you'll notice that the second level actually matches below. And then on the right side of us, you'll see the wood door. These wood doors go to both the bedrooms on the main floor. And then they actually have a trim that goes all the way up and matches 2 windows on the upstairs, which is really, really cool ambiance. And that was Again, something that Henry came up with, but I love the continuation of kind of making the courtyard feel bigger by incorporating both levels. Only the one that you see has an actual window. You'll notice as we get further along in this video, or maybe in parts 2 or 3, depending on how long this one runs, the other one is actually open to what was originally the quote unquote smoker's porch that ended up growing and growing and growing, but they do match in a similar way, which is pretty neat. But these doors are not original. All of ours got termite infested. We did a termite treatment throughout the house, but they match exactly what we had before. So there you go. There's the open space window. Then I've got the bedroom open right here. And this is the first of 2 bedrooms, and these are basically mirrored. So this door over to the left, we had to keep that door, but we ended up keeping it tight, like basically kind of creating a bit of privacy between the two. But that door used to open. Now it doesn't anymore, so there's more privacy. But again, we have new pasta tiles below the bed, all custom furniture, the mattresses from Costco. So, king size mattresses in every room. But the ceiling in these 2 bedrooms, when they were working on the house, they had a structural engineer come out and he basically said, is it fine? Yes. Does it eventually need to be dropped and replaced? Yes. And so before we had kids or anybody renting this place, we ended up dropping those ceilings, confirming everything else was good. But those 2 rooms we needed, especially as we're building on top of them, to reinforce and strengthen. So these rooms don't have the typical look that some of the other rooms do, but they're the same layout, same everything, just a brand new ceiling that's even stronger than it was before. But we picked out all of the different pieces. You'll see kind of our Wi-Fi back there. We've got the recessed lighting again. This is the door that used to open up. Each room has a giant closet, its own mini split. All the closets are designed. There's a desk too with a granite top. All the closets are designed so you can put your luggage in there as well. And then this is what both bathrooms look like. You've got double vanities, these beautiful, beautiful showers. Again, this one has a similar skylight to the laundry room. A really cool basin right here. So if you'll notice, the actual shower part is lifted, but where we're walking, it's lifted as well. And there's a track around it. This is every single shower. So all of the showers are kind of built with this neat effect where there's almost a moat, a channel running all around, and then it goes into one central drain. So it's a complicated process to make sure that everything runs to that drain properly. But as far as the design is concerned, it makes it absolutely beautiful. So then again, you'll see me probably a couple of times here. Yep, there I am. But this is the glass close off to the toilet. Beautiful toilet right there. And then we go back out. And again, you can kind of see the size knowing that that's a king. Those are very tall closets. Again, it walks right out to the courtyard, right out to the water feature with that really cool original wall. As we continue, same situation, new door because of termites, but the bed, you probably saw from the other one, it's a little bit lighter. This is darker. Pretty much all of the beds are designed the exact same way. So as we go to the master, as we go into the main room, you'll see that the beds look very, very similar, but as far as patterns, as far as kind of switching out, having like a big middle piece of fabric right here to 2 pieces on the side, the different colors of the pillows, the different plants and that kind of thing. There's a little bit of difference in every room, but a lot of them are just kind of reversed in the right way and they turned out perfectly. But again, this is pretty much the exact same thing. You got your desk, you got that same door that used to go between, same exact closet, and the bathroom is basically the same thing. I can hear my kids back there. Just switched a little bit. So you got the same shower, same double vanity, and of course the toilet there as well. So these rooms are great size. Again, just to give you a bit of an effect. If you saw me cut out there, that was because my kids came in the room. But again, walks out to the courtyard, beautiful. The lighting at night, and I think I'm gonna do another video of this, the lighting at night between day, it's so cool. And then again, this opens up. You can see our neighbor's pergola, which is the reason we had to go a little bit taller with that concrete. They built up while we were in the process of construction. So we built up. So we just walked into that big iron gate that we saw before. And now you see the kitchen. Now before I do the full reveal of it. On this side, this is kind of the drink area. So we've got a little, quote unquote beer fridge below. We've got the new flowers. But for this point, you've got a sink for the bar, you've got a bar fridge, and you've got things above and below. The storage in this place is absolutely incredible. And that is without question seen in this kitchen area. So beautiful countertop. It's all granite, but it's got that kind of leather finish. These doors can open up all the way. So everything can open and just create nice airflow through the house if that's what you're into. Coffee maker, soda stream, you got to have those. These pictures were actually just installed, so you probably didn't see them. You might have seen them on Instagram, but you might not have. This is something we're proud of. So before I show you this, if you're looking to rent Casa area, you're probably not going to have access to this because this is a lock-off pantry. Now, as you saw in the kitchen, and we'll continue to see, there is plenty of storage for anybody to keep any amount of food, drinks, anything. So this is going to be something that we utilize for us to keep whatever we want to that'll actually keep throughout time, because we're only going to be here sporadically throughout the year. But this pantry was something that we knew once we lived here full time was going to be incredibly important. So here is the pantry that we built, and it's basically the other half of the bathroom to give you a little bit of size. But there we go. It's 5 shelves. It goes about 14 feet tall, and it goes all the way to the back of the same room. So it's a good 15 feet long. You can store pretty much everything. We've been here for a week and a half, and you can see the cardboard from all the new stuff that we've had to buy. But that pantry has been absolutely incredible. Now you can see the actual room. You've got the mini split up top, big refrigerator, stove, which we haven't even used yet, tiny microwave. That microwave is big enough to put a small plate in, but not a very big one. I don't know why that is. That is what it is. On this side though, you'll notice that there is a big faucet and a little faucet off to the side. Now the big faucet is for cleaning, rinsing, doing all of the activities that you need to do. The small faucet is actually filtered. So the refrigerator, so the ice, the water coming out of the fridge, that's all filtered. And then in the sink, that other smaller faucet, that is filtered water as well. So it works out really well when you clean the coffee pot, you bring it over here, you turn that thing on. It's a really fast fill. You can put pretty much anything in it, pots, pans, giant jugs of water. They all kind of fit depending on where it is. But that allows us to have filtered water down here because, as you probably know, Mexico isn't necessarily known for having the cleanest water, Montezuma's Revenge being Exhibit A. So they put this in, and the water pressure is actually fantastic down here. So no matter if you're using the sink, that water, the refrigerator, it doesn't matter. The water is here, and depending on which faucet you use, the water is clean. We just have to make sure the filter is good. On top of that, you see this little white panel by the 2 switches. That's the easiest thing to see on the backsplash. It's a black screen. If I would have hit that button, you would have seen that actually goes to the doorbell, and that is a video screen to the doorbell. There's another one in the master bedroom, but that's our actual doorbell, so we can communicate, we can talk through that, see anything that comes up, or just kind of check out what's going on the street. So pretty cool little feature. So there's the sink. You can see kind of our dishes up top. They're easy enough. Nice gas stove. We've only really used the center burner and one other burner. And then this is the island. You can kind of see the amount of drawers that we have, the amount of space that we have. On top of that, you can see the little black outlets right there. So there are actually outlets accessible to the island here. And then when you go to the other side under the chairs, there are several outlets there as well. So you can kind of see these 4 light fixtures as well right above the island. Those are Mexican made, local factory, an artist built those things. Probably the most expensive light fixtures I've ever bought in my entire life, especially for the size, but they're made of kind of a lava rock, a pumice material. We didn't see the black ones until they were installed. We actually saw white ones. And the moment that I pulled it out of the box, I was like, well, I don't want these everywhere, but these things are absolutely beautiful. So we put 4 of them in the kitchen, and then everywhere else we went with cheap stuff. And then there's new flowers. See the granny, a little better picture of the outlets there. And again, this flooring runs throughout the house, which anybody who's ever watched HGTV probably knows that if you kind of run the same flooring throughout, it makes the space look bigger. So I've said that we've had custom furniture, and this table was one where we actually went into a house that Henry Ponce had designed and fell in love with that, only they had kind of the reverse. They had light wood and light granite. So we actually went with the darker side since it matched the kitchen a little bit better. But this is a really good view to kind of show you everything in the house. So you see the giant light fixture above, the new artwork, the custom table, custom chairs, custom bar chairs, and the custom piece across the back as well. That is actually ended up being where our Wi-Fi is, where our internet is, and we have a charging station we've kind of created back there. So it's a more functional design than we assumed it would be, as opposed to like pretty, but the rest of the room kind of ties it all together and lets us get away with that a little bit. You see the fans that are running here, but again, giant table. We could fit 4 chairs on each side pretty easy and have a 10-chair setup, but we really only have 8 people down here at any given time, and anybody else can always sit at the bar as well. But you kind of see the charging station, and here's just a beautiful view of the kitchen from the other side. And you kind of get a good idea of scale at this point, because this is a very wide table and we still have a long way to go to the courtyard and everywhere else. So that is the front of the house. That is the main house with the 2 bedrooms, theater room, laundry room, pantry, kitchen, courtyard, and of course the entry. And I hope you guys enjoyed that part of the house. All right, everybody. So that was the end of part 1. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to give you a bit of an outro. But again, my name is Alexander Howell. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. That's going to let you know anytime that one of these videos goes live or I live stream, which we're going to have a lot of this week because we have a lot of things to talk about, especially after these videos go live. You're going to see after this video comes up, there's a suggested video. It's going to be part 2, then part 3, and you're going to see the entirety of this property. Again, this is something that you can do, but I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, peace.